back again to show you my next cake tutorial. This week we're going to be making a cactus. It's super cute for either a first birthday or a baby shower, or if your kid just likes the prickly plant. It's so easy. So we're going to get right started. All I've done so far is bake and frost my chocolate cake. It's 3 layers high, and I've pre-dyed some green fondant. And I'm going to show you my 3 essential tools for covering a cake. First, my pizza cutter, trusty pizza cutter, couldn't do without it. My rolling pin, which you can pick up at Walmart, and this paddle, which helps smooth out the fondant after you get it covered onto your cake. So we are all set up to now roll out our fondant that we're going to be putting on top of our cake. Now I have my mat down here, but you certainly do not need a mat. But I will tell you that one of your best friends here is going to be a bowl of powdered sugar. It helps tremendously with sticking. Fondant tends to get pretty sticky if it gets overworked. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sprinkle some down on my mat. You really can't use too much here. And I'm gonna put some on my fondant. And we're gonna get started with the rolling. Now, I'd like to pretend this is a pizza dough. It's really not that intimidating. I promise you guys, if I can do it, you can do it. And just applying lots of pressure as you roll it out. Okay, so we're ready to cover our cake in fondant. Now, all I like to do is just gently pick it up, roll it out enough so that you can sneak your arm underneath, and you're just going to quickly drag it over the top of your cake. So it should look something like this. This is where your paddle comes into play. I like to smooth out the top, forcing any air bubbles that you may have towards the outside of your cake. And then pulling ever so gently, smoothing down one side of your cake with one hand and gently pulling with the other, working slowly all the way around your cake. You can always go back over with your paddle if you think some of it is a little rough, smooth it out, and continue working. Being careful not to pull too hard because it will rip. We're nearing the end. It's a little tricky at the end, but if you just pull it a little bit, it will work with you and stretch until you can smooth it out towards the bottom. And now we have our cake covered. I'm going to go back over with my paddle, smooth out the whole thing so I have a nice crease at the bottom. And that's where I'm going to take my pizza cutter, placing it right at the seam, push down and go all the way around your cake. And then you peel away the excess, and there you have your fondant covered cake. Now we have the base done, and we're going to move on to the features, and it's going to be so cute. Alright guys, so I have all my materials here that we're going to be using to make the facial features on our cactus and his 2 arms. So I'm going to do the arms first. So I have a little bit of my green fondant here. I'm going to roll it into kind of an oval shape. When you're rolling out the fondant, if you have any creases, You want to just apply some pressure as you're rolling, and it should roll the creases right out. So I have kind of a teardrop shape here, you can see. And then I'm just going to use the palm of my hand to kind of flatten it out. I just like to use my finger and a little bit of pressure until I get the shape I want. And then I'm going to take my pizza cutter here, and I'm going to cut off the end so that it has a flat end. And then I'm going to take my toothpick, and we're going to make little divots. And that's going to be what gives it the cactus texture. And you can do as little or as many as you want. I'm going to turn it over and do the other side. And then I'm going to take my toothpick and I'm going to gently stick it right into the end. I'm going to set that aside to dry. Doing it again, starting over, rolling out all my creases, and then rolling into the teardrop shape. Okay, now let's move on. We're gonna give our cactus some pink little cheeks, which I'm just going to roll a little ball of pink, make it into a little cylinder, and then simply take your pinky. I like to just gently flatten it, and those are gonna be her cheeks. So I'm gonna do another one. Trying to roughly make it the same size. And there we have our cheeks. Now I'm going to make the mouth, which is just going to be a little strip of black fondant. Then I'm going to curl up into a smile. So I just make a little snake, and then I'm going to curl it up, just like that. Okay, so moving on to the eyebrows, I'm again using my black fondant. I just need a little ball this time, and I'm going to roll it again into a snake, leaving it a bit thicker in the middle, so I just roll out the ends, and I'm going to curl her eyebrows, give her some personality. So I'm going to have one end going up and one end going down, kind of like that. But you can do it however you want. And I'm going to do another one. Kind of like a little S. Okay, and so now we're going to make her little flowers. I have my little Wilton cookie cutter here, but you can use any flower, cookie cutter that you have. Take a little bit of pink. Just a little bit. just big enough for the cookie cutter. And I'm gonna make 2 of these. All right, so I'm gonna set these all aside to dry, and then the fun part is the assembly. Okay guys, so since I've been waiting for our fondant pieces to dry, the only thing that I have gone through and I have done is I took one of my toothpicks and I went around the whole base of the cake, making those same little divots that we did on our arms to give it that same cactus texture. And now we're ready to stick on all our facial features. And in order to do that, you're gonna need just a little bit of water and a paintbrush. And that's gonna act as the glue to hold the fondant to the fondant. So let's do it. Just adding a little bit of fondant to your eyebrow. If you do too much, it will start to slide right down your cake. A little bit goes a long way. I'm just gonna stick this on, and then I'll show you guys how she looks. So the very last portion is just attaching the arms, and it's super easy and simple. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spin this around, figure out where I'd like them to be, poke them in. I have one on top and one towards the bottom. I'll show you. Super sweet. And I'm going to take our little flowers here, attach a little water. I'm going to put one kind of up here to hide the crease. Here. And she's done, guys. What do you think of this one? I think she's adorable and she's ready for any party. Now if you guys could please share this, subscribe, give me a like or a comment. Let me know what you want to see next. I'm so glad you guys were here for me today. Thank you again, and I'll see you next week.